How is it going, everyone? My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 12. We are halfway now through Season 2, and I gotta say, this was a great conclusion to this sports festival arc. I laughed so many times. There was great action sequences. It even got a little bit emotional within this episode. All I gotta say is the first half of the season was just so good, and I'm really looking forward to see where the second half of the season is going to be going. We did not see Stain in this episode, but odds are this second half of this season is going to be dealing with the fact of Stain, but also what happened to Ida's brother Tenzai. So I'm really looking forward to see where our heroes are going to be going in this next half of the season. But overall, I just really enjoyed this episode. But right off the bat, I just got to say, and I think I've mentioned this probably in a few of my reviews, but the music for this series is just so good. It fits every scene, whether it be action sequence or it's meant to be like a really sad scene when Ida's at the hospital. You really start to feel for these characters, and it really makes the moment that much more impactful. Like when Ida is in the hospital, running towards his brother, I was like, damn, I'm getting choked up a little bit with this because Ida's brother is like his role model. That is his hero that he looks up to. And you can say that for a lot of characters within the series. And I think the best way to compare is like Deku with All Might. So let's say if something similar happened to All Might, where All Might was incapacitated and, was just in the hospital, I think Deku would be kind of distraught in the same way as Ida was. Because right now, Ida's hero, the person that he looked up to, is right now crumbling before him. It's now weak, defeated, and that takes a toll on a person because you're feeling mixed emotions, you're sad and angry, and I can definitely say that Ida most likely in this second half is going to be seeking revenge for his brother because that's the only route I could see him going on right now. But it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with those emotions and what he's actually going to end up doing once he confronts Stain in the second half of the arc, because we all know that's where it's going to be going to. Ida is going to confront Stain later on in this arc, and I am really looking forward to that. But let's talk about this Bakugo versus Todoroki fight. I took a few notes on that on my phone just that way I could talk about just certain things within it. It was a good fight. It was really good fight, but I gotta say, out of this whole sports festival, the Todoroki versus Deku fight still takes the cake for me, but I still really enjoyed this fight as well. But I think it's supposed to kind of mirror the emotions that Bakugo is kind of feeling within this episode because, to be honest, it does feel a little bit anticlimactic because Todoroki technically doesn't really fight in this episode. He kind of, he starts off with that huge iceberg attack that he kind of used on Sero during the first rounds, but when he uses it this time, that's really the main attack that he uses, and then once Bakugo starts going in on him, he doesn't really do anything. He does actually activate his fire side, his left side, but he ends up not using it, and gets knocked out of bounds, and I totally feel right now for Bakugo, and I totally understand where he's coming from, because if you want to be the #1 hero, you want to go up against the best, and when you're fighting the best, you want them to give it your all. And when they're not giving it their all, not only does that make you feel mad, it's like, wow, you don't even have the willpower to fight me at 100%. And that is kind of disrespectful in a way to the way Bakugo kind of views it. That's why he's so angry throughout this entire episode, which I gotta say, I got some good laughs from Bakugo in this episode. But what's interesting though about the end of the fight is as he goes up to Todoroki when he's out of bounds on his ice and he goes to basically go to punch him again, we get to learn Midnight's quirk, which we got a little sneak peek at it during the Todoroki versus Deku fight, but this time we kind of actually get to see it more in action and what it actually does. It seems to be some type of gas that just kind of knocks you out. So it kind of does match her look that she has as this dominatrix, to where if stuff gets really crazy, she can just knock you out like that. So, and I even laughed a few times at Midnight as well when she was staring at all the media and she gave that cute pose, and we see Tokiyami on the podium being like, was that for the media? Very cool moments right there. But the award ceremony at the end of this UA Sports Festival had some great moments, very heartfelt moments. It made me fall in love with All Might even more than I thought I couldn't, because him going up to all of the third place, second place, and first place people of Tokiyami, of Todoroki, and Bakugo, giving them words of encouragement and a little bit of advice on how to improve and get better, and then going in for those All Might hugs. I'm like, dude, All Might is awesome. Hashtag All Might hugs for days, because I saw that and I was like, yo, All Might, give me a hug too. I would love that. He is just so cool. Even his talk with Todoroki was very good as well. He can see that Todoroki was conflicted, but after this match and after this UA Sports Festival and actually, getting to fight Deku, he's shifted now. He's actually starting now brand new, and it's going to be very interesting to see where his character is going to be going later on in the season. But I gotta say, All Might confronting Bakugo, taking off that like restraints he has, and that's another thing I gotta talk about. When they brought up the podiums and you see Bakugo in this Hannibal Lecter type suit, you know, he's just restrained and he's so angry, and they're basically saying he's been like this ever since he woke up and he's been pissed. The face he makes when he's talking with All Might, he's got like the devil horns for eyes. I was like, yo, Bakugo, you're making me laugh too much within this episode. I absolutely loved it. And the way All Might puts the metal just in his mouth is like, ah, there you go. Absolutely funny moments. I absolutely loved it. And also the interactions with the crowd for that moment as well, when everyone was like, you know, all right guys, let's say it all at once. All Might goes to say plus ultra, and then the whole crowd basically goes, you all did a great job. And there's that hilarious moment where it's like, oh, we were supposed to say that. So I really liked that moment as well. And then the second half of this episode deals with the whole Ida going to confront his brother at the hospital, which was a very emotional scene, and also Todoroki going to the mental hospital to actually go see his mother. So we also got like after credit scene, which I do want to mention too. If you guys did not see this in this episode, there is an after credit scene of Ochako and Deku within this episode, and also a little bit of Bakugo as well. So definitely look forward to that at the end of this episode. But I like the ending half of this episode too, because it gives us new starting points for a lot of characters. Ida, Todoroki, and Deku have new starting points, new places where they're actually at the starting line and now about to start their actual journey. Ida right now is at a crossroads to where his hero that he's looked up to, his brother, is now basically in the hospital. He's still alive, which honestly I thought he was dead when he was attacked by Stain a few episodes back. But this is now his starting line, and where he chooses to go is basically going to shape his fate moving forward. Same thing can be said for Todoroki as well, because right now he's deciding to use his powers to become a hero in order to get his mother out of this mental institution. So this is his starting line right now as well. I really do like that scene of him just going into the hospital, actually getting to confront his mother after all this time, who hasn't seen him since the accident, and actually getting to see the face of his mother. She looks gorgeous. She looks absolutely beautiful. She looks a little bit more calmer than the last time we saw her. So hopefully stuff ends up going well for both of those characters, where they get to reconnect and hopefully start building a relationship again. So I really hope we get to see more of those developments with Todoroki and his mother. But then also with Deku talking with his mom, I really like that as well, because Deku finally told his mom that, you know, he got a quirk, it just manifested late. I was really hoping that they would bring that up, because if I was Deku's mother, I would have been like, how did you develop this quirk? Because common knowledge is once you hit the age of 4, if you don't have a quirk, you end up being quirkless. So I do like that that was actually brought up within this episode. His mother just basically saying, I passed out like 7 times watching you after the cavalry battle. So I was just like, oh, Izuku's mom is just so cute, so adorable. And just the way that she is just so passionate and also so supportive of her son. It just shows the great dynamic that parents actually have in this show, which I absolutely love. And even getting to see Ochiko's parents was very cool as well. Very funny moments. So this episode was a great conclusion to the overall sports festival arc. We had some great, awesome action beats, but we also had some great character development as well for a lot of our characters. And moving forward from this arc, there's a lot of promise, a lot of cool things to come, and I'm really hoping that we dive more into Stain within the next episode and just get to see where this character is going to be going, how villainous this character is going to be, and how our students, our hero students, are actually going to deal with the fact, you know, that Ida right now is probably going to go out on revenge, and how they're going to actually, you know, cope with the fact that Ida might be a changed person after what happened to his brother. So I really enjoyed this episode. I want to hear from you guys, your overall thoughts on this episode, and also give me your overall thoughts on this arc, this first half of season 2. What'd you think of the UA Sports Festival? What was your favorite fight? What was your favorite moment? And which character do you think got the most character development out of this entire first half of season 2? So leave your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. I definitely look forward to the second half of season 2 of My Hero Academia. So until next week, until we start the second half with episode 13 next week, I'll talk with you guys later. And remember, plus ultra. See you later, guys.